Node.js is single-threaded, but somehow it handles thousands of requests at once. How? In this video, let's break down the core async patterns in Node.js, from callbacks to async/await and beyond, using simple examples. First, the callback pattern. This is the oldest style in Node.js. A function doesn't return the result immediately. Instead, it accepts another function, a callback, that will be called later when the work is done. In Node.js, we usually use error-first callbacks. Think of a function like readFileTaking as its callback. If error is there, something went wrong. If not, you use data. This pattern works. But with lots of nested callbacks, you quickly get callback hell and messy code. The next pattern is EventEmitters. Instead of passing a single callback for one result, you listen to multiple events over time. For example, a stream or a socket can emit events like data, end, or error. You subscribe once, and the event emitter notifies you whenever something happens. This is perfect for continuous or streaming data, like reading a big file chunk by chunk or handling a long-running connection. To solve callback hell, JavaScript introduced promises. A promise represents a value that will be available in the future. Instead of passing callbacks into functions, the function returns a promise, and you attach .then and .catch. This lets you chain operations and centralize error handling, which already makes async code much easier to read than nested callbacks. Then came async/await, which is just syntactic sugar over promises. You mark a function as async, and you use await to pause that function until the promise resolves. The important part? It looks synchronous, but it's still non-blocking under the hood. The event loop can continue doing other work while your async function is waiting. This is the most common pattern used in modern Node.js code. For real-world backends, we don't just wait on one promise, we often have many async tasks at once. That's where Promise utilities come in. Promise.all runs tasks in parallel and waits for all to succeed. Great for fetching user, posts, and settings at the same time. Promise.race returns the first promise to settle. Useful for implementing timeouts or picking the fastest server. Promise.all settled waits for all tasks, even if some fail. Perfect when you want to log or inspect every result. Promise.any returns the first successful promise and ignores failures until all of them fail. These utilities are key for building high-performance Node.js APIs that do work in parallel instead of one by one. Most Node.js async patterns are about I/O, network, file system, databases. But what about CPU-heavy tasks, like image processing or encryption? For that, we use worker threads or child processes. They run code in separate threads or processes so the main event loop stays free to handle incoming requests. You still interact with them asynchronously using messages, events, or promises, but the heavy lifting happens off the main thread. So, to recap the main async patterns in Node.js, callbacks, the original async style, but hard to scale. Event emitters and streams, perfect for continuous data and long-lived connections. Promises, cleaner chaining and error handling. Async/await, the most readable way to write async code today. Promise utilities, run things in parallel and manage concurrency. Worker threads and child processes for CPU-heavy workloads. Mastering these is essential if you want to build fast, scalable Node.js backends. If you'd like a hands-on demo, I can walk through the building a small Node.js API that uses async/await, Promise.all, and a worker thread for heavy computation. Let me know in the comments if you want that breakdown.